Everyone keeps hearing the word DAO, but almost nobody can explain what it actually is. Not the hype version, not the meme version. The real structure. Today, we're going to break down from the ground up what a DAO is, what it's made of, and why it matters. This is the Governance Foundations episode. No voting math, no treasury mechanics, just the core idea. What is a DAO? By the end of this episode, you will be able to explain it cleanly, understand the pieces that make it work, and reorganize when something is pretending to be a DAO, but it's not. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. That's a full phrase. Decentralized means no central authority. Autonomous means the rules are enforced by code. Organization means that it is a structured group with a shared purpose. A DAO is an internet native organization that runs on smart contracts instead of managers. The rules are written in code. The money sits in a shared chain treasury. And the people who hold the governance token decides what happens. This is the core shift. Traditional organizations rely on hierarchy. A CEO, a board, a chain of command. A DAO replaces that with transparent rules and public voting and automated execution. A DAO is not a chat group, it's not a meme coin community, it's not a Discord server with a wallet. But what it is a formal structure where the rules, the treasury, and the decision making are all enforced by code. That's the clean definition. Every real DAO is built on 3 pillars. If one is missing, it is not a DAO. Pillar 1 is the smart contract. This is the rule book. It defines who can vote, how proposals work, what percentage is needed to pass, how funds can move, and what actions the DAO is allowed to take. Once deployed, the contract enforces these rules automatically. No human can ever override them. Pillar 2 is the governance token. This token represents voice and influence. If you hold the token, you can vote. Some DAOs use one token, one vote. Others use quadratic voting or reputation-based systems. The mechanism changes, but the principle stays the same. Ownership equals governance power. Pillar 3 is the on-chain treasury. The DAO's funds live in a public wallet. Anyone can see the balance. Anyone can see every transaction. Money only moves when the rules in the contract say it can. This is the financial backbone of the DAO. When these 3 pillars are in place, you have a real DAO. Code that defines the rules, tokens that define the voters, treasury that is controlled by both. From the inside, a DAO feels like a community with a constitution and a bank account that nobody can touch without permission. Members debate ideas in forums and discords. They write proposals. They challenge assumptions. They refine the details. And when the idea is ready, they vote. The vote is not symbolic. It is not advisory. It is not a poll. It is the absolute binding decision that triggers real actions on chain. If the proposal passes, the contract executes. Funds move, parameters update, teams get funded, protocols evolve. The DAO changes direction. This is the difference between a DAO and a community. Community talks. but a DAO acts. DAOs are not one thing. The structure is consistent, but the purpose changes. Protocol DAOs govern DeFi platforms. They decide fees, incentives, listings, upgrades, and risk parameters. These DAOs control billions in assets. Investment DAOs pool capital to buy assets. They vote on what to acquire, how to manage the portfolio, and when to exit positions. Social DAOs form around identity and culture. They coordinate events, content, membership, and community direction. Grants DAOs distribute funds to builders and public goods. They decide who gets funded, how much, and why. Collector and media DAOs manage NFTs, IP, creative projects, and content rights. They vote on acquisitions, releases, and revenue sharing. Different missions, of course, but the same governance engine. DAOs matter because they change how power works. They replace closed-door meetings with public proposals. They replace private spreadsheets with on-chain treasuries. They replace a handful of executives with a voting community. For users, this means you can be more than a customer. You can be an owner. You can be a governor. You can shape the direction of the system you rely on. For protocols, it means decisions are made in the open. The rules are transparent. The history is auditable. The incentives are aligned. And at scale, it means the entire ecosystems can coordinate without a single company at the center. This is real innovation. DAOs are powerful, but they're not perfect. Smart contracts can have bugs. If the governance contract is flawed, the entire DAO is at risk. Voter apathy is real. If only a small group participates, power concentrates, even if the structure is decentralized on paper. Coordination, of course, is difficult. Thousands of people making decisions together requires process, patience, and structure. And regulators are still figuring out how to treat DAOs. In some jurisdictions, the legal status is unclear. Understanding DAOs means understanding both the potential and the friction. If you need the cleanest possible definition, here it is. A DAO is a community-run organization on the blockchain where smart contracts hold the money, tokens represent voting power, and every major decision is made through transparent on-chain governance instead of executives. Now, if you want the deeper version of this, I break down DAOs, governance models, and real-world crypto systems in my book, Understanding Crypto, a clear guide for new investors. It is written so you can understand these structures from zero and actually use them. So if this finally made DAOs click for you, do me a favor and hit follow and drop a comment with what you want next. Voting logic, treasury flow, DAO culture, or even a live walkthrough of a real DAO dashboard. Your comments tell the algorithm this matters, and they tell me where to take this arc from here. Stay locked.